Tansin tutemak, nawago magarang tinimak, Mr. Skabik Pemitzikamak. Hello, family and friends and citizens all over Pemitzikamak, and also in Manitoba, because there are a lot of people all over. I thought maybe it's time to give a little update in terms of where we're at, what we're doing. Our council has been very busy these past few months and the first year that we had. We've been doing a lot of meetings with ministers, bureaucrats to try and get extra funding for various programs in the community. We have programs like health, education, policing. We have Jordan's Principle. We have mental health. We have the health center that we're still working on to make sure that we have proper nurses and doctors and nurses in the community. And we're also trying to make sure that our recreation is up and running to make sure that we keep our kids busy in the community to ensure that they have proper funding, proper equipment so they can have fun. We also have our Ininu Pematsu through Pemitzikamak that's starting to make sure that we have activities like berry picking, hunting, fishing, and mental health wellness in the community. So we have our people working really hard to make sure that you have things happening in your community. We have major projects I would like to talk to you about. One of these is the health centers. Almost they're going to be moving in pretty soon. They've been having some problems in terms of operations and management to make sure that everything's in place for them, to make sure they have proper running water, they have proper lines for communication and so forth. And we're working on an ambulance and one or two ambulances right now that we're looking at putting a helipad so the helicopter can land right by the health center. We're working on that stuff, so that's coming along. We're negotiating on Channel Farm Service, making our own law. That'll be brought to the community for feedback and input and see what you guys want further from there. We're also looking at negotiations actually and make sure that people are compensated for all the wrong things that was done to the children. That'll be coming up, and then we're still negotiating those things. We'll be providing feedback to the government of Canada for that stuff. So it's a lot of exciting stuff there. We're right now putting up a proposal for a school that's about over $200 million. That's going to be there. It's going to be an all-inclusive school that includes recreation, cultural, our language, to be including elders and community people to make sure that we can provide the best quality education for our children in the community, so they don't have to go out and get those things. But it's something that we're overcrowded right now. We have one school that's supposed to be 500 people there, but there's 700 children there. We have another one that's supposed to be 800, and there's 1,200 children there. So we need a new school. So that's we're working really hard right now. I actually just came from a negotiations meeting on that. Plus, we're trying to increase the amount of money that government is providing to the community. Right now, they provide approximately about $24,000 to $25,000 per student to run the operations of the school. Right now, we have come up with a new funding formula that will look at about $69,000 per student. So that means we can get more programming for education, culture, recreation, and to make sure every student can go to school. And that's what we're trying to do. And policing, we're working on our own police force. We're working with RCMP to make sure we have TIPS programs that's up and coming. We're also looking at maybe a cadet program for the RCMP so we can have students that we can look at that. Citizens on Patrol, we're looking for funding to continue doing that because we do it sporadically. We do the border control to make sure that we can slow down at least the trucks that are coming into the community. So we're hoping that we can stop it, but we know we're realistic about that stuff. Women's shelter. Women's shelter is up and already, but they still have to finish the interior. So by about September, we'll get our women's shelter that's going to be in place. But we're also looking at women's transition homes. So once you're in the shelter, once you're done in the shelter, you should be able to go into a home, a transition home, until you get your own home and stuff like that. So we're working on that stuff. You've probably seen next door to the arena, you have the youth center that's almost complete, and we have program dollars that we're negotiating for that to make sure that there's something, a fence for every kid in the community. And our portfolio holders are really working hard to try and expand the arena to make sure there's a sports complex in there too, so there people can go exercise and do other stuff in that an arena, in that space. But a lot of the stuff comes with you have to go after money, so that's why we're always out of the community to try and get more money, to try and get more programs, and to get the meetings in place and stuff like that. We're also working on assisted living for the community. We have a lot of people that are with disabilities, but we also have our elderly that needs homes and stuff like that. So a 66-bed facility is what we're looking at there. So we're really trying to make sure that we're going after that money and get that process. We already started working that in our portfolio. We're holders, again, working on that stuff. So we continue to work really hard for our people. Mental health, spinal care, those are things we're looking at, research, monies and so forth. But with research money, it also comes services and stuff like that to ensure that we look at the holistic well-being of the community. So we have this community development plan to try and make sure that we can put houses everywhere. A lot of people ask why there's so many houses being built in that Timik area in that area, because there's a pipeline goes to a water going to the health center, so we can tap into that pipe water, so we can go to the houses. So every one of those houses will have clean running water. So we're going after a lot of houses, and there are a lot of houses that's coming up, and we're building our own and stuff like that. We're going to be setting up our own houses and stuff like that. Nigan, they're also looking at building a big building, about a $30 million building, same thing at Jordan's Principal. So we want to make sure that it's going to be nice buildings and nice areas where our children can be serviced in a culturally appropriate way, not the old way, that they used to do and stuff like with taking children into care, but actually helping families and keeping children safe and in their own homes and in their own community. So things like that are really happening, and we're still looking to see if we can include our the north end area to start looking at negotiating for more pipelines and stuff like for water and sewer systems in place, because we want to build that area in Sagatawak to make sure we put housing there. It's about 35 room for 35 houses in the north end area, but it also around Alberts Lake we're looking at maybe building about 95 houses. So we still have to build roads, we still have to build water and sewer towards that area. Once we can get that done, then we don't want to do it in a way that's not going to be good for the people. We want to make sure they have proper housing, they have clean running water, they have proper hydro, they have good access to better roads and stuff like that. And that's the other thing, we're trying to keep everybody safe by actually having paved roads in the community, and that's what we're trying to do, and trying to finish it this year to get paved roads so that you can drive around safe without having to break a bumper or break an axle or a tire and stuff like that when you're driving around. But we got to make sure we're safe, and we're doing that, and that's one of the things that we're doing. It's for the safety of our children, the school bus drivers. They need proper roads to transport our children to and from school. And same thing with you guys. We want you to keep safe. And there's a lot of other stuff that we're doing right now. So we're really busy. We're really trying hard to make sure that we're doing it in a good way. And of course, we still have a bereavement program. And that's a sad thing, is that we lose a lot of people, from over 60 people a year and stuff like that. So that's really keeping us busy as well. And we're trying to establish a committee that will oversee that stuff, to help the people. People who are bereaved, to help them with wakes, to help them with other costs related to funerals and stuff like that. And because we want to make sure that our people are taken care of when they're in grieving and stuff like that. So we do care about you. We love you guys, and that's why we work really hard. We put our hearts and soul into the work that we do. We keep busy. If you don't see us there, know that we are working for you. Know that we are in a meeting. Know that we are going after money. That's what we do every day, from early morning to late at night. And I got my first call this morning about 7 o'clock, and my first text was about 6:30 to try and start helping people. That's how it goes right into the night. So we are busy. So when you see your counselors and executive council members, pat them on the back and say thank you for all the work that you're doing, because they are working really hard for you. And of course, there's the Elders Council, there's the Women's Council, there's the Youth Council. They're trying to do their part in helping the people that they represent, to make sure the elders are looking after, to make sure the women are being looked after, and make sure the youth are being looked after. They're working hard to do that stuff as well. So with that, I thank you for listening to me, and that's the update I can provide for now. And hopefully I can get this done again within a short month or something like that. Thank you, and have a good day or good night.